All right, guys, I'm out here on the range today. I just installed this red dot optic on this shockwave, and coming out to sight it in, figured I'd show you guys what defends the gun dungeon homestead. I know there's a lot of argument back and forth, shotgun, AR, home defense, whatever. We ain't gonna argue that. This is what I choose to use as my primary. Wife uses an AR-15 as her primary, so it's just what I like. So as you can see, this is not a standard shockwave. A lot of modifications to it. Put this buffer tube adapter on it, which also gives me a pistol grip down here, and put the standard AR buffer tube on it, and then a SBA 4 brace. It's a brace. Also, you can see the foregrip's different. This is a mag pull. Now, I did have to hog out the inside of this a little bit for it to work on the shockwave. I know this is made for the standard 590, and the shockwave is a 590. It's just a little different. So I did have to hog it out a little bit, but as you can see, it works just fine. It comes back over the receiver just a fuzz, and you can peel out some of that polymer, no problem, not have any issues. Have an Odin Works light mount, a Surefire light in there. Nothing crazy, just a good light. I think every home defense weapon should have a light on it. This 4-shell carrier side saddle here. Now I went with the 4 on this instead of the 6 because of this foregrip. The way it comes back, the 6 actually would make contact, and I'd have to hog off even more of the outside of this foregrip. So I opted for the 4, and as I was talking about earlier, I put this rail on here and this red dot. This is a Holosun 403B. Opted for it just because of the shake awake feature. Really like that for home defense weapons. And I just kind of want to see where it's hitting at. One thing I've noticed already is if I do use the brace against my shoulder, if I absolutely had to, it is more of a chin weld or a low cheek weld as opposed to getting down on it. That's where I would be if I was looking at the irons, and that's where I'm at looking at the dot. So it's definitely something I'm gonna have to consider getting used to, or just taking it off and going back to the standard bead sight. But for now, we'll see how it patterns at short range here. I got a target set up. Now don't be upset if that blows over. It's just barely hanging on there, so it'll probably fall. I'll have to replace it. I got some cellular and below 12 gauge 9 pellet double aught buck. Not going to try to say that again, so this is going to be S&B from now on. And I've got this Sterling 9 pellet buckshot. It's a little different, looks a little different, kind of still got that same clear casing. This is 9 pellet double aught buck as well. I'll probably run a couple of each through just to see if there's any difference, but for now, let's pop some of these S&Bs in here. Probably just put one in for now, and we'll see where it hits. I'm gonna aim center mass kind of high, just so I don't hit the steel target it's on. So. Well, that's kind of a wide pattern, and I didn't have my ears on. A little side tracked, so I paid for that. But it looks like the pattern's centered where I aimed. Pop that out. It looks like it's centered where I aimed, but that's about, it's 12 yards from the front of this table to the steel target. So that's probably about 15 yards from where I just shot. Way longer shot than any room in my house is going to give me. So for home defense, not too bad. Just for sight and aim purposes, I'm going to load another round and step up a little closer just to make sure I'm getting close to point aim, point of impact, and then I'll try a couple of the other shells. yeah, I mean, that would definitely be a bad day for somebody that was inside a dwelling. It looks like all the pellets were on it. I'll count them here in a minute, but looks pretty good. Let me try a couple of these other buckshot loads, some of these Sterlings, and I'll run 2 through real quick and go from there. Not too shabby. Let's walk up here and take a look. Okay, so there is our target. You can see a couple wad hits on the paper there. There are 36 holes though. So out of 4 9-pellet buckshot, they're all on target. You can see that's a center mass hit all day long in room distances. So one thing I want to talk about before you take off, if you're considering the shockwave for home defense or modifying it like this, there's one downfall of getting away from that bird's head style grip that comes factory with it and going to a pistol grip, is the location of your safety. Now, unlike the Remington TAC, was it TAC 14 or something, the same Remington's version of the shockwave, their safety's down here. So it's a little more pistol grip friendly. The safety on this is up here. So that's not ideal. But the way that I keep this gun stored, I don't use the safety because I keep it in cruiser ready mode. Now what that means is, let's go ahead and show clear. Cruiser ready means I have an empty chamber, safety is off, I pull the trigger. Now I don't have to use this slide lock button to rack the slide. All I've got to do is just pull it and go. So cruiser ready is empty chamber, trigger pulled so that your slide's unlocked, and then I load 5 in the mag tube, and that's how it stays. So if I pick it up, all I've got to do is grab it, rack it, and go. So that's how I prefer to keep it. You may not, you may want to use a safety, and if you do, I would either stick with the bird's head grip, which I'm not a fan of, or go with the Remington TAC 14, which locates your safety down here. So yeah, that's about all I got for today. Hope you liked today's video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my Instagram and Facebook page. Until next time, guys, stay tuned.